We're back with the 1v1 portion of the RedBull ECL LAN, and this matchup is going to be Shadow Fiend versus Shadow Fiend. On Radiant, we have VGCTY, also known as Looney Boosie. I don't know how to say that. And Dire, we have Mushi of Team Orange, widely regarded as one of the best solo mids.
Of course, you speak a little Chinese. Not sure if you can translate anything they're saying here, Ben, but I'm not sure. Is this game actually happening?
I'm not sure. I wish I could understand, but it looks like they're all prepared. Looks like CTY is already in mid with his Wraithband and his Tangos. It's generally regarded as the better build because you want to get as many souls as possible. I was confused a little bit by the pause. But
Well, we'll have a quick pause here, but it's going to be Mushi versus CTY. Two of the most highly regarded solo mids in the Asian scene today. Mushi, a very aggressive solo mid. I think CTY, despite being the younger one, is fairly disciplined overall. Sometimes he overextends, but has been beating a lot of people 1v1, man. I've rarely seen him lose his lane, and that's against, the best players in Asia.
the Shadow Fiend matchup, I think, is one of the better matchups for mid for skill. Not like the game we saw last game. I think Viper is also pretty good just because mistakes are punished very heavily. If you miss a few CS in the beginning.
All right. We'll have another quick remake. I'm going to make sure I get in the game this time since they started within like 3 seconds of remaking. All right, guys. We're going to take a quick break. When the game actually begins, we'll come back. We'll just keep on doing the intro until the game starts. Apologize for the delay. Bear with us. Oy, oy, oy.
All right. Well, not exactly sure what's going on with the remakes, but we will get this 1v1 started. Looks like now. So CTY on the Radiant again. VG, he's on VG Gaming. He goes by the tag Looney Boosie now. And on the Dire we have Mushi of Team Orange. So they actually started with different starting builds. Looney Boosie going with a Slipper's Agility with 4 Ironwood branches and Tangos, and looks like Mushi actually started with the same one too. So they differed a little bit from last game. Wraithband does give you more damage. It gives you 9 damage overall, and I think that's really what you want at the start. The only benefit of getting going this build at the start is you get one more branch, which is not that much.
I
not,
wonder,
not that much.
did they agree to use the same items as well for a true test of skill or something?
I have no idea, but I think Wraithband is slightly better. You get 7 damage out of this. You get 9 damage out of the other one. You get a little bit more agility.
And mostly it's just the last hitting more, right?
Yeah,
it's
mostly
not,
it's just less hitting more.
You shouldn't be taking too much harassment.
So most of these end, I'd say probably like level 5 through level 8. The first one to hit level 5 has a pretty big advantage. You just trade raises. If they hit you with a level 2 raise and you hit with a level 3 raise, you're almost always going to come out ahead on trade, and you just keep going when the cooldown's up, and then if you have like a decent, if you're a decent last hitter, or at least relative to the other person, you should come out ahead, and as long as you don't mess up, it should be pretty easy to secure victory.
Mushi's already outplaying him pretty hard. I was wondering, I had a question about the creep blocks. I noticed neither player really went for one. They let 2 creeps go through right away. They didn't like get the range creep first or anything.
Right.
Is that just mind games, like hoping your opponent will block the crap out of their wave and it pushes into their tower or something? Or
occasionally, but even if it pushes to the tower, eventually it's gonna push
back to yours.
Back to yours. I think it's better just to have it like up here, and you want the range creep, your range creep to go first, so that you can constantly keep it up here. If they have to deal with the miss uphill, you're gonna get a lot more soul to them and be able to outlast them a lot. And Mushi is absolutely dominating CTY. 9 total last hits and denies, and only 2 for CTY. So we're talking about a 67 damage Shadow Fiend versus a 51.
This gets really bad really quickly.
Oh, sorry, 74. 74 damage.
I think is he soul capped? Yeah, he's soul capped for this level. So now it's just about denying as many souls to CTY as possible. And I mean, that's a scary start. What is he sending out? I imagine the Wraith Band? No, Magic Stick for him first.
Magic Stick I don't think is that cost efficient. You don't get that much out of it. You get like 2 slots and the Magic Stick ability for 350 gold. I mean, if you go with a branch first build, you're pretty much resigned to that, but this is why I think Wraith Band's a little bit better.
Mushi, how appropriate would it be? I mean, he's known for having amazing individual play and sometimes very questionable item selection, but maybe he'll have the questionable item selection. And
well, the thing is, he still has more gold than CTY, even after buying the Magic Wand, which is a little ridiculous.
He's 13-5 to the 5-0, and the 5-0 of CTY has also come on a lot of raises. Mushi still is mostly full mana here, whereas CTY is...
CTY only has 5 souls. That has to hurt.
Yeah, and he's just getting outgamed right now. Is this where Mushi can start to strut up on him a bit and just kind of harass him out of lane?
Usually just wait until level 5, just because he still has a lot of regen. CTY still has a Salve and a Tango. I didn't think the damage per mana is a little bit too inefficient at level 3, and he has enough of a soul lead right now that if CTY wants to try and contest it with a raise, he's gonna be out of mana. He's almost out of mana right now. He only has 1 more raise.
Courier comes in, delivers the Salve. Now Mushi, if he wants boots, he'll have them. Obviously, Bottle is a go-to item for Shadow Fiend normally, but when you can't get runes and you can't Bottle Crow, probably not worth it.
Yeah, I think Boots is very key in this matchup, just so you can hit that raise. If you can just get in range to hit the seed raise, or the longest range raise, and then the opponent doesn't, you just keep doing that, and if they try and trade with you the second time, you're already 1 up ahead. So this is why Boots is really good in the matchup.
CTY, he finally gets his Wraith Band, but Mushi is sitting at 93 damage to the 71 of CTY. That's a big deficit.
So looks like CTY actually went for a Wraith Band first, which is not bad by any means, and we actually see another Sal come out from CTY. So 2 Salves to his name, 1 in the stash, and another Salve on Shadow Fiend, constantly using the chicken, and he is bringing his boots to himself right now.
That's an 8 soul lead. It actually felt worse to me earlier. I feel like CTY is kind of stabilizing right now, but Mushi's still leading.
Much of the reason is because the Creepboy has been over here for the most part. And there it goes. As soon as he hits level 5, you want to trade raises, and that is exactly what Mushi is doing. And he's like at that range where he does... Oh, the chicken! Ooh, ooh. Zonky. Zonky in a little bit of danger there.
That's a wild Zonky. Needs to be tamed. Mushi, so now that he's level 5, he can start trading raises.
Yep, exactly. And there's a second raise. He's going to use his flask, and then it's going to go on a little bit more.
He was thinking about that long raise, but he didn't have the right... Dota 2, the pathing is kind of weird. Like, sometimes your hero turns in a way that it wouldn't in Warcraft 3, or at least that's how it feels.
He missed the raise. And how did he get so much mana?
CTY got to turn this around. Mushi's low.
Where's his flask? Oh, he actually got his flask popped, I believe. He had one.
Yeah.
Wow, so...
that really hurts him.
Yeah, Mushi is 1 raise away from giving him first blood.
Yeah, it was at one point like 15 difference in total last hits. Now it's down to 9.
Yeah.
Actually, make it 8.
Mushi can pretty much just stand on the opposite side of the wave when he's level 5 to level 4 and just zone him out there. And if you can ever zone the Shadow Fiend out, you should win the matchup from there. But Mushi playing like a little bit over aggressive at the tower, tanked the last hit, got his salve canceled, a little bit of a slip up, but he still is ahead.
In fact, CTY, he's hit level 6 first. He's going to have 22 souls now to the 20 of Mushi. Call it a comeback. Less overall last hits,
well
but
be.
more souls.
Mushi could go in for the kill, but I guess if it's a first blood, sometimes you can just like, okay, well, if I'm going to get the kill, I'm not going to be able to farm the 8 souls up that 1 level Necromaster gives me. I'm just going to skill up the Presence of the Dark Lord for -3 armor and just go for the kill. But if it's a first to 2 or 3, then you really need the more sustainability. You can't go for the surprise kill like that. Similar to how some Quabs don't actually get blink at level 2 in the matchup. If you're playing very aggressively early, you might need the extra burst from the Screen of Pain or from the Shadow Strike, whichever one you didn't skill at level 1 to go for that. So the Shadow Fiend matchup, you can vary from a skill build a little bit, but for the most part, it's just level 1 Necromastery, then max Raise, and then max Necromastery.
Pretty even matchup so far. It was at one point just a crush from Mushi, but CTY's turned around. Mushi perhaps misplaying.
CTY's been a lot safer too. He's bought a lot more regen.
Yeah, he's the more I think this just sort of reflects their personalities and their styles. Mushi is a very aggressive solo mid. CTY's a lot more of a defensive, almost Yairobi from DC kind of solo mid. Well, defensive laning.
Now it looks like CTY is almost ahead in total last hits and denies. It's about 35 for Mushi and about 33 for CTY. And there's a clarity.
Yeah, he's spraying all kind. That one will get canceled, but only 50 gold down the drain. Not too big of a deal. In terms of gold earned, though, Mushi's still leading here. He has more last hits. Just as far as souls go, plus 59 to plus 54. It's still a lead.
Oh, Mushi's trying to approach from the left side.
He going for a big swag play?
He is level 7.
You can't.
They're both
Look
level
at this
7.
defensive positioning. CTY is very hard to gank. It's kind of hard to gank someone in 1v1, but even that's how aggressive Mushi is. He'll try to gank you even.
I don't really like how Mushi got the boots first, but he didn't really abuse it. He just chose to trade last hits instead of like playing super aggressively, backing in and out of the max C range. And if you don't get early boots, it's actually a big waste of money because it doesn't help you last hit any better.
Yeah, he hasn't been that aggressive. Well, he's tried to go for some unusual plays, but in terms of actually forcing fights, we haven't seen too many of those.
Yep, there's the big C raise.
It continues to just be a back and forth between these two. Slow and steady. Looks like a farm war again.
Oh, yes, indeed. And
you know, it's funny, we did 1v1 Shadow Fiend mid and a fistful of tangos, and I think every one of those ended in like the first 5 minutes.
It's the Asian Dota style.
Asian Dota.
Zoning out is so important. There's no one's going to smoke gank you this early. One more raise would have done it, but he could have magic stick. Yep.
Yeah, he didn't have the best angle either.
Yeah, in this matchup, I mean, you don't need to worry about smoke ganks. Generally, like, Eastern Dota is safe just because of the threat of smoke ganks, but you don't have to worry about anything. You don't have to worry about a haste, invis, like DD, anything like that. So you can afford to play a lot more aggressively than you would normally, and it doesn't look like they're really adopting the playstyle of a true 1v1.
This is that stage of the game where the heroes are most likely to die because the way the raise scales is at level 4, the damage ramps up so fast, but your HP is not that much better than it is at level 1. So 2 or 3 raises will get a kill, even from full HP, pretty much.
So these people might actually run into mana issues soon if they try and push out the wave. I don't know if they're going to get a kilo or not. I think it would be pretty good considering.
Phase boots for Mushi.
Ooh, not bad, not bad.
And what does CTY have?
But
regen.
I haven't seen him abuse a move speed aspect yet. So if he's going to try and man fight, I think Treads is better. 30% attack speed is generally better along with the stats. But if you're going to try and bounce in and out, which is pretty difficult at nighttime, then I think Phase is better. But it all depends on your play
it
style.
does help you with just the pure last hitting more, though. You don't have to use raises to get creeps. And well, after getting those Phase boots, all of a sudden Mushi is starting to pull ahead. 43 to 12 to 36 to 15. Still a very even game overall. Net worth-wise, though, Mushi is leading by a bit. That's the one thing, is CTY is buying so much regen. This doesn't really improve your hero in the long run.
Mm-hmm.
Just helps you stay in lane, and that's why we see a big net worth gap.
Mushi actually went for 1 Presence of Dark Lord at 8, so their build has finally differed. CTY opting for max Necromastery, but he has more souls. So even though he has phase boots, he doesn't actually have that much more damage.
In fact, it's 2 more damage, but Mushi does have the minus armor, so his auto attacks will hit harder.
Yep. It will also push out his lane, though, even if they don't attack. So both of them playing very, very safe.
He's really slicing into CTY here.
Yeah, those auto attacks hurt like a truck.
I liked the fact that CTY was playing safe and getting regen, but I feel like maybe he's overdoing it at this point. Because, I mean, Mushi's gotten a big ticket item. Phase boots really are making a difference.
Yeah, I think that if you get first blood, you should just win the matchup just because you can just play aggressively, and they'll have half the souls you do if they die. So I think that first blood is really, really important here. So maybe the extra investment is worth it if he gets first blood, but if it isn't, he's just going to fall too far behind in terms of items.
Yeah, it wasn't a super early point in Mastery. Like, at least he maxed his raises, he got 3 points. Or in Presence, I mean. And then he got 3 points in Mastery. But we'll see where he goes from here. Chucky out a raise, now giving chase, trying to run CTY down. He's got another raise. Mushi, is he going to go for it?
This is what he should have been doing earlier. When he had that advantage, you can just press it like this. Stay on the opposite side of the hill. Try not to get aggro from the creeps, and just right-click and use your bigger raise.
Oh, this is... I don't know how I feel about... This is like... I almost want to say this is too defensive, right? Like.
Yep. Well, the Tranquil Boots armor will negate the presence of the Dark Lord.
Well, you do move quite quickly with those. If the phase is on cooldown, he might even be able to run Mushi down. Oh, both heroes salving up now. Onto the high ground comes Mushi. He's missing. No, he goes down.
That was not even close.
I think he was still down the hill. I think I saw at least like 2 auto
You cannot do the downhill trade, even if you have 1 level of Presence of the Dark Lord. Shadow Fiend uphill, he still had 8 charges on the Magic Wand. So even had Mushi hit 1 more raise, he could have just Magic Wand and it would have been almost.
I thought he was planning to use that smoke for something. I don't know if that'll work, but would have been cute.
So Mushi he had the huge advantage. He was like quadrupling his CS at one point.
Look how long he's dead for. He's gonna miss a full. He's down by almost 2 levels now. In fact, call it 2 full levels.
Yep, not a good. You don't want a man fight down the cliff. That is one of the basic rules of a range versus range matchup. You don't man fight at equal HP down the hill.
Yeah, I think he missed 2 auto attacks, something like that. Even just missing 1 is the difference a lot of times. So now Mushi, can he actually come back now? His hero's still technically worth more. His souls
is he going for the chicken kill?
Oh, hunting the courier, but Mushi, this could be a big problem. He's got phase boots, 2 more raises. Is there the last one? Oh my god!
HP.
Wow.
That chicken bait.
Yeah, that was some next level chicken bait.
I like how CTY has observer rewards too. Being able to see up that hill, because oftentimes when you're up the hill, like right now, he won't be able to see Mushi, and he won't be able to right click, and it's a big problem for him.
Look at Mushi. He always wants to fight now. I mean, there was that point where he probably should have fought and he wasn't, and now that he's in a slightly more precarious position, now he's really going for it. More south.
CTY being more efficient with his regen, dropping his Tranquil Boots. I don't actually know why he dropped his Tranquil Boots, but he dropped his Aquila when he used his salve. Tranquil Boots not really necessary to drop. Doesn't give you any stats.
Just wanted to show you that he can drop all his items.
He should have dropped his Magic Wand. Maybe that was what he was trying to do instead.
Yeah, probably was. And he basically never has to go back to base now between the mono regen from the Aquila and the HP regen of Tranquil.
CTY is just much better at controlling the wave. Mushi's like always in this area. Or of the
now
wave.
He's duking it out. He could be going down here. Requiem being channeled from long range. Oh,
wow.
Mushi. Able to live. Mushi still giving chase. CTY. Yeah, it feels to me like Mushi is just pressing way too much now, and he's not in a position to be doing it. And he's pressing at the wrong times. Well, that was a good time.
Tranquil Boots paying off for CTY, I think.
Yeah, CTY, I think he canceled a salve there towards the end, and that Observer Ward is making the difference.
Yeah, it's really important in range versus ranged. Being able to see up that hill when normally you wouldn't be able to.
Look at this. He wants to walk past the tower with 2 creeps. I feel like Mushi is playing this more like a pub, not like he's up against one of the best solo mids.
Notice CTY also blocking in between waves so that the wave is like almost always over here. And Mushi's forced to come downhill. If he wants to trade hits with CTY will almost always come ahead. I think Mushi has like pretty good last hitting mechanics, but in terms of controlling the wave, knowing when to play aggressive and item choices, and abusing the fact that he has boots and phase over CTY's lack of boots, I think that CTY comes out ahead in other mechanics besides last hitting.
Yeah, and also just an understanding how to play the matchup as well. Despite being the younger player, it does seem that way. Of course, it's a very small sample size. It's 1 game. Perhaps it's been a long day for Mr. Mushi, but no excuses here. If he loses fair and square, and right now, he is certainly on the back foot. He actually walks forward. He's still leading in terms of the last hits, but the denies are really stacking up. And we can look at the level differential. Level 9, Shadow Fiend just hit 10 to a halfway to level 12 Shadow Fiend. Deny so much more important in the range versus range matchup.
Yep. And CTY also
As well as the first
deactivating his Aquila. So
wants to draw the wave back.
yeah, that's good. He has +6 armor though, which is pretty amazing. He has 13 armor if Presence of the Dark Lord isn't in the equation.
Yeah, as far as the skill builds, looks like it's pretty much the same here. We've seen CTY using Requiem, but just kind of as a zoning mechanism, not really.
Yeah, that thing has absurd range though. I think it's like over 12, 13, 1400, maybe even longer.
Yeah, it's a good thing Mushi has phase boots, or he might end up going down otherwise.
Mm.
Was that more salves? Still, more and more salves. Mushi's actually still worth slightly more.
Where's the HOD? HOD is just like a much better item in general, I think, as opposed to buying like 9 salves. Well, it depends on how long the matchup's gonna go.
Nobody wants to play this game of chicken. Both heroes backing off.
I think in Western Dota, this would have ended in like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Like even first of 2 kills.
Look at the creep blocking.
Wow.
It's gonna be on his hill again.
CTY going like full defensive mode with this cloak on the chicken.
That's a really nice pickup. Because the raises, I mean, the auto attacks hurt, sure, but the raises are really what make the difference.
Yep.
It feels like CTY just wants to win by a pure war of attrition. Incremental,
yeah. Waiting for Mushi to
tiny
make
advantages, punishing your mistakes. He seems a lot more aggressive in his competitive games, and I don't know, what is he saying?
Shit. Thanks.
Oh.
I don't know why he said thanks, because nothing happened. Oh, he's going up the hill.
Oh,
this is the zoning out. Oh my goodness. 60 minutes in. Someone finally decided to zone out.
Oh, big aggression here.
Well, this is probably going to
From
be
CTY.
a tower unless Mushi ferries over a lot of regen. He only has 1 salve. He does have both of them going cloaks. Oh my goodness, this defensive build is ridiculous.
Where's that E-Blade? Nobody's got the farm yet.
I mean, if you're buying mass salves, you might as well make him a little bit more effective by negating the magic damage from the raise, but wow.
Yeah, their inventory slots are definitely a resource as well in 1v1 though, and they're starting to become a bit slim for some of these players. I wonder if would he go full hood here? It does give you a lot of HP regen.
I don't know. Then you can just right-click him down, because eventually the right-clicks will do nearly as much damage as the Shadow Rays,
yeah.
And it's not worth it if you invest it one way or another.
Is he going to ward? There's no point in being here. Maybe he's just bored. He'll wrap around mid. Wants to make it go on Mushi. Mushi spots him from across the ravine. Now coming in, now backing off. Raises are going to connect. That's the long-range raise. No follow-up available. But now he's been zoned out. He hit that raise. Mushi. Is that another salve?
More cells.
Now it's
galore.
Mushi who's having to overspend on
They're
salves.
both playing like almost exact same way, except for the Tranquil Boost as opposed to Phase. Like there was this mass salving, casual cloaking.
If you're going to play this way, then Tranquil Boots seem like the better play.
Yep.
Like, I felt the phase boots were more of a game-breaking item, but not if you turn into a war of attrition like this.
CTY taking his time, taking it easy.
Merlini take it easy too, leaning back in his chair.
Place another observer ward in the on the lane too, but in the last 6 minutes, I expect this to be over in another 6 minutes, but could be wrong with the way this is going.
Very safe, very stable play. Remember, CTY, he leads by 1 kill here. The tower's still pretty healthy for both heroes. The mid tower, slightly lower for Mushi, but a minimal difference.
They've used so much regen, it is absolutely ridiculous. Like, that's incredible.
We're going to have a fight. Mushi turning around, and CTY says, get out of my house. He's fighting with creep support. Doesn't really matter. Mushi just trying to bait out a bad raise and then go in, using that phase boot mobility to his advantage, but CTY wisely holding the raise, not giving Mushi an opening.
Yes, he is. And Tranquil Boots, I guess, really paying off. 3 HP, second of regen for 180 second, or 60. That's 180 a minute with 18 minutes. He probably got like the 5-minute mark, maybe. That's a lot of regen.
It's a lot of salves he hasn't had to buy since he got it.
And now he has a chainmail, so this is a good pickup. And meanwhile, Mushi is just like broke after constantly buying regeneration.
Running around the creep wave here at the tower. You know, the CS is still fairly even. What's that, a 14 deficit? 7? Looks like CTY is ahead now by 7 total last hits, but including last hits and denies as like last hits of creeps in general. But it's a minimal lead, I guess. It's mainly the item selections that are making the difference here.
Yep.
So where's he going with this chainmail? Just a casual chainmail. Actually going in now, Mushi. He could be finding a kill. He needs one more auto attack and a raise, but well-timed phase boots get Mushi out safely. Even if you don't die, though, being forced back like that, oh,
Ooh, that's close.
makes such
Mushi's
a
almost out of money though, and if he goes back home to heal, he might not even have enough money to TP back, which would be a huge deal. That's like
that's
a
his tower.
free tower.
Yeah, it'll be a glyph for sure. The tower will be low if not gone. Seems to me like Mushi is just getting out
Oh,
itemized.
it's a buckler.
Oh wow, this is cheesy. But
This
see,
is
this
cheesy
is
indeed.
this is good. I like this because Mushi doesn't have that much mana regen. I mean, he's got a Ring of Aquila, but that's really it. So I think over time we'll be able to push this wave out.
Yep, double raising already, putting a lot of pressure out on Mushi. Mushi,
He cannot trade auto attacks right now.
Wow.
Not at all.
wow, what is
What
Mushi
is he doing? Mushi! Not like this.
Well, that is GG.
GG.
I-
CTY stands strong. The new kid on the block. Just
He
took
has so
down-
much armor. He tried to last it, but look at his armor. He has 22 armor with all the armor buffs, and that is just smarter play by CTY. Normally you wouldn't go that because you're highly vulnerable to magic damage, but in a pure one-on-one situation, he's really abusing the fact that the majority of damage does come from right clicks. Well played by CTY, just showing way more patience as a player and adapting more to the situation than Mushi. And I think that is our second of 4 matchups. I don't actually know if they're playing another one after this, but CTY 2-0 victory over Mushi. Last assist and denies actually going slightly in favor of Mushi, but CTY, smarter play, less money wasted on Sal's, Tranquil boosts over phase boosts, all paying off for him.
Well, on that note, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a very short break because they are cruising through these matches. We'll come back. We'll have at least 1 or 2 more best of or 1v1 matches. It seems like they may have actually switched to best of ones because we're running late. But we're going to take a break. I'm LD. He's Merlini. You're watching the Red Bull ECL 1v1 tournament. We'll be right back.